In this video, we're going to be going over 5 jacket brands that are going to 10x to 100x your money if you're flipping on eBay. We're getting into the season of reselling jackets, and I wanted to make this quick video because I'm doing some research, and I thought I'd bring you along with me to show you right now what is selling on eBay so you can help make some more money in your eBay business. And it is winter coming up upon us, so we need to be on the lookout for jackets, sweaters, hoodies, heavier gear equipment that's going to help you take advantage of the season. Because if you resell clothing, you need to be aware of what is selling in the season. So I'm doing jacket research. I want to figure out what are some other brands that I can add to my Rolodex. So when I go out thrifting or sourcing or buying wholesale, I know, hey, that's what I need to be looking out for, because not only do these items sell fast, they sell for some crazy money, and you'd be surprised. The first one that we have is Orvis leather jackets. 523 listed on eBay right now. Orvis is kind of a meh brand, especially since they started to be sold at Costco. But we're talking about Orvis leather jackets, y'all, and watch what happens. We have 523 listed pre-owned on eBay, and you can see that there is 242 sold in the last 90 days. So that's accounting for a little bit of end of July, August, September, so the last 90 days. So this is expected to be improved as we get into December, January, and February. So you can see $49, $65, $69, $44, $54, $49, $59, $1,000. What the heck is going on? So this one's rare. Theodore Roosevelt jacket. So this is a cool one. That is a really nice sale. So if you're at the Goodwill outlet, you're at the thrift store, you definitely want to make note and not just cut out all Orvis, some stuff in the categories like jackets, specific wool sweaters, things like that. For me, Orvis, like if it's a button up or a pair of pants, I'm going to be passing it up. But there is a couple categories within that brand that sell well. Like that $1,000 jacket. So let's go from highest to lowest so we can get a good idea when we're outsourcing. What are the really nice finds within that brand and category that I can just, hey, I remember seeing that. Now I know to pick it up. So obviously that leather jacket, we have a lamb shearling jacket, Rancher Barn Chore. Those are really good keywords if you're dealing with brands like Wrangler, Levi's, Dickies. Rancher Barn Chore are really good keywords for that type of item. So another Orvis jacket, $240, $239, a leather jacket, a merino shearling jacket, $198 best offer. Let's so you can see these sell for really good money, especially if you could find the leather one. Wow, that one $125. That one looks real similar to this one. That sold for $1,000. Yeah, those look identical. All right, so let's go to like the middle of the pack. That's what I like to do, is just like, what are some things that we can actually find? Because you're probably like, Bo, of course, that's a $1,000 jacket. I'm never going to find that. Let's go to page 3 or 4 or 5 so we can see like what's generally going to be available to people like you and me when we're going out sourcing and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, I find Orvis, but what do I pick up within that brand? You can see this Orvis leather vest sold for $66.71. Obviously, Orvis leather anything is going to be worth picking up. So you have a blazer, leather blazer. You have a suede jacket. So yeah, this is something that you're probably going to come across every now and then. Orvis is a huge mass-produced brand, and you can see $59, $69, especially with the leather elbow patches as well. So don't discount Orvis, y'all. This shocked me too. So Orvis is a good one if you're picking up leather jackets. Let's just type in leather or type in Orvis jacket, and you can see probably why it's not going to be the best to just pick up every single Orvis jacket out there. But it's probably not going to be terrible either. You can see there's 10,000 Orvis jackets listed on eBay that are pre-owned. Well, actually, it says 7,990 here. So let's go. Okay, well, right here it says 7,990. We'll just use that number. And we'll click sold, and 2,400 sold. So not terrible, but not amazing either. So yeah, I mean, Orvis, okay, definitely do your research, but the leather jackets are going to be an instant pickup for me if I'm paying between $8 and $15. Just really depends on what it is. Something I've been working on behind the scenes is an AI listing tool. I've spent the last 70 days working on this tool, perfecting it, so I don't have to do listings anymore. Maybe you're a reseller like me that doesn't have a ton of time to keep up with learning all the keywords, filling out all the item specifics, figuring out how a title's supposed to look, figuring out how to price your item. Well, I built this tool, Easy Flip, to solve all those problems. With just a few clicks, you can have instant listings delivered to your eBay store within seconds, rather than spending all this time figuring it out, doing all the manual work. I'm saving about 5 to 10 hours per week listing 10 items a day. All I have to do is just upload photos, download them into Easy Flip, and click a few buttons, and listings are done. If you want to learn more, click the link down below and check it out. We have a 100% money back guarantee. If for whatever reason you're not happy, we got you. The next brand is Flint and Tinder. This is a Huckberry brand. If you're not familiar with Huckberry, it's a great website. Just bookmark this website, honestly, and put all these brands in your brands list because they're amazing. Flint and Tinder is a Huckberry brand. If you ever find a Huckberry branded item, you want to put the keyword Huckberry into your title. Flint and Tinder is just one of them. They have Relwyn, they have Proof, they have their own Huckberry brand as well. So yeah, if you ever come across any of these Huckberry brands, they're amazing. So Flint and Tinder is one of them, and you're going to be blown away. There's 169 Flint and Tinder jackets listed on eBay that are pre-owned, and check this out, y'all. This is crazy. 321 sold in the last 90 days, is not even taking into account that the data is from August, September, and a little bit of July. Isn't that crazy? So with that being said, this is only going to get more in demand. So 321 already sold in the last 90 days, and they sell for really good money. $72, $150, $175, $99 for just the resin waxed vest, $100 for a bomber jacket, moleskin leather. So yeah, just do some research. But pretty much anytime you find a Flint and Tinder jacket out there, you're probably gonna want to buy it. It's like Viore, it's like when you find it, you just buy it. Set your parameters on what you want to pay up for. But for me, if I find a Flint and Tinder jacket that's a men's, like size medium, large, extra large, I'll be paying, $15, $20, $30 for it if I could turn that into 60, 70, 80 relatively quickly. So Flint and Tinder is a good one. I don't know if you know it or not, but it is a Huckberry brand. And like I said, bookmark that Huckberry website and pretty much pick up every brand that's on there. It's amazing. So that brings me to my next thing is Huckberry jackets, just in general. We're talking Huckberry. You'll get familiar with more of the brands that they carry, but one of the amazing brands that they carry is Relwyn. Relwyn anything, I would just pick it up. So we're going to go to pre-owned. There's 177 Huckberry jackets pre-owned on eBay. When you click on sold, you can see there's 185 sold in the last 90 days. So a nice 1-to-1 ratio there. So you see, let's just go through them. Relwyn, obviously one. Huckberry makes Taylor Stitch. Taylor Stitch is another amazing brand. The button-ups sell for like $50. Pre-owned. So Proof is another Huckberry brand. And the style is really like nice, like minimalistic. The jackets have like a lot of utility as well. So Huckberry, Faraday is another good one. Let's see, Taylor Stitch, we already said that. Flint and Tinder, obviously. These jackets are really nice. Fjallraven, awesome brand. So get familiar with those. So anytime you find any of these brands, Chrome Industries, Flint and Tinder, Proof, they're really expensive. Retail, they really sell for $250, $350, $450 plus. So if you ever find it pre-owned, this is something you're definitely going to want to pick up. Howler Brothers is another good one. So just keep that in mind as you're going out searching for jackets. I know you and many other people are doing the same, but what's going to separate you from other resellers is having the knowledge. I should be in my garage, right? Having the knowledge just over other resellers that don't do this research weekly. I think this is important as a reseller, especially if you're starting out. You need to go through the solds and just start gaining and gathering data and just figuring out, okay, what's selling well, what's not selling well. And if you're selling pre-owned clothing, styles change all the time. So what sold 3 years ago is not going to sell well this year. So this is something that you should do every season. Start researching spring and summertime brands in January, February, March. So when you're going out sourcing for those items, you're already ready. So we're kind of doing a little bit of that prep work now, October 6th, getting you ready for the things to be on the lookout for when you go out sourcing. So the next brand is Buck Mason, which I believe is another Huckberry brand. But if you ever find Buck Mason anything out there, it's a good one. So 105. So actually, there's 87 listed on eBay. And there is how many sold? We got 214. So a pretty nice demand on that type of item. So when you go from highest to lowest, you had a Buck Mason moto jacket with a terrible title still sell for $600. $30 shipping. That's crazy. $600 Buck Mason suede leather bomber jacket. Buck Mason, another kind of moto style jacket, $515. Let's go to some like ordinary kind of lower end ones that where we could find more commonly. A corduroy jacket for $120. Probably should have shown the tags on all these, but Buck Mason has a very minimal, boring type of tag, which is good because probably people who aren't familiar with it would be just passing it up because it's very common, very simplistic. One thing I will make note is that I've noticed that the more boring and plain a tag looks, the more expensive it sells for. So I know that don't just go off of that, but when it just says, plain text on a tag with no flashy logos or anything, you probably at least want to take the time to look it up. So Buck Mason tag right there, very plain. Huckberry, Relwyn is one that stands out and you would be able to know from far away. Let's see, their tags didn't load. Okay, there we go. So that's the Relwyn tag. Relwyn, you could see that from far away. If you're outsourcing, that's an amazing brand. And then Flint and Tinder, I just want to show you the tags because I think that's important when you're just starting out. Just get familiar with what the tags look like. Again, nothing flashy, very simple. And then Orvis, I think we all know what Orvis looks like, but for demonstration purposes, I think this is more of their vintage. Nope, that's just a leather patch tag. So yeah, get familiar with those. So Buck Mason, we went through it, very simple. Even the shackets, where it's like a button-up, heavy button-up, $120. I mean, come on, that's crazy. Buck Mason. So good. Amazing. Next one was something that I learned at last year was yachting jackets. Jackets that are specialized for going on a yacht, which is hopefully in my future at some point. But Musto yachting jackets. I picked one up at the thrift store about last year. And I think I bought it for like $8, $10. And it was Gore-Tex. And I sold it for $280 in 2 days after listing. So Musto yachting jackets, sailing jackets. I just put in Musto jacket, so I'm not like hitting that yachting, sailing category because they make other types of jackets as well. But you'd be surprised, 323 sold in the last 90 days with 733 listed. So not amazing, but not terrible either. Really good. So when you go from highest to lowest, see, I bought one of these last year and it had stains and it was worn and I sold it for like $280, $270. So if you could find these yachting jackets, those are really nice. They'll have like a model number MPX or MPN. But yeah, that's what the tag looks like. Musto. Comment down below if you've ever found anything like that. That's a really nice score. I feel like thrift stores haven't caught on to that brand. So yeah, Musto, there's not a ton out there, but if you ever do find it, very nice find. Musto yachting jackets. That's kind of what they look like. They're either red or bright yellow like that. And they make other kinds of sailing and yachting jackets as well. So Musto is just a good brand overall. I want to keep making these videos because as I'm doing research and selling more and more on eBay, I'm just getting my skills refreshed on what's selling, what's not. And I hope that you are too, because it's still an amazing opportunity to be selling on eBay. We've only been listing consistently for a couple weeks now, and we're already at a $201 day. Yesterday we had a $70 day. The day before that, $280. 188, and then our big day the other week was 427. So we're selling stuff. That's amazing, and I hope you I hope you all are as well too. So I'm going to keep doing these research. I want to know, what are you guys looking for? What are some brands that you're looking out for? Because as you keep learning and getting better at reselling, this is a necessary thing that you just got to do. You got to get familiar with the brands that that sell well. So, you could be the most effective person that sources versus the competition, So that's why I'm going to keep making these videos. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next one.